Today we're doing the hardest. I think it's the hardest skill in the red TOEFL book. Okay. If you can understand this, you can understand all of them. All right. So why don't we start with Alshimari? What's the name of this skill?
Skill 13, use reduced adjective clauses correctly.
Yeah. Do you know the meaning of reduce?
Not acceptable.
When you reduce something, does anybody know? It's not acceptable? No. If you reduce something, yes, Osama?
Reject.
Sorry?
Reduce mean
Decrease.
decrease, yes.
Exactly. So when you reduce something, like at the supermarket, if they reduce the price, they decrease the price, okay? So this skill is called reduced adjective clause. Now, what exactly is an adjective clause? Remember? Adjective clause.
Same adjective.
Same adjective. And what are the key parts in a normal adjective clause? What are the key parts?
Subject and
Verb.
verb.
Connector,
Subject, verb.
subject, and verb.
Verb.
Those are the three key parts. If it's a normal, right, a normal adjective clause, those are the three key parts: connector, subject, and verb. Okay. Now, you're going to find out the difference between this special adjective clause and a normal adjective clause. So basically, everybody, what is an adjective clause again? You said it. You said it before. It's a team adjective. And what is that exactly? An adjective?
Connector.
Many
subject,
parts.
Adjective with many parts.
Many parts. Yeah. Yeah. And what does it do? What does an adjective clause do?
describe a noun.
Exactly. Describes a noun. Okay. All right. Let's start. Let's see. Al-Harbi, can you read here in the reduced?
In the reduced form, the adjective clause, connector and subject, and be verb that directly follow it are
Omitted.
omitted.
Do you know that word? Omit?
Delete.
You should know the word omit. When you
Delete.
omit something, you remove
Remove it.
remove it. Omit, remove it. Okay. Now, that over here it says connector subject. Is that connector or subject?
It's a connector and subject.
It's a connector and subject at the same time. Last night we did skill 12. Remember skill 12?
Yes.
Yes.
And the connector in skill 12, was it just a connector?
No.
Connector
It's
and
subject at the
subject.
same time.
Ah, it was also the subject, right? The second subject, okay? So the important thing in skill 13, you must know skill 12 first, because here, the connector, when we reduce that, if you decrease the clause, how do you decrease it? You remove two things. You remove the connector subject. Okay. All right. That's one. First, you remove the connector subject. Now, if it's just a connector, you can't reduce it. But if it's a connector subject, skill 12, you remove it and you remove the be verb. Okay. You remove these two things, then it's called reduced, or it's a decreased adjective clause. Now, basically, when you reduce or you decrease an adjective clause, it's basically the same idea that we studied in the green book. It's skill 3 and skill 4. Okay, in the red, skill 4 and 5. What were those skills? Skill 3.
Present participle and past participle.
Exactly. If you remember, the present participle is sometimes part of the verb, sometimes it's an adjective. Remember that? It's the same thing for the past participle. Sometimes it's part of the verb, right? If it follows an auxiliary, it's part of the verb. If it doesn't follow, it's probably an adjective, right? So in skill 3 and 4 from the Green Book, we didn't have complete adjective clauses. We had, the first time I told you about team adjectives, remember the first time I told you about team adjective? That was in skill 3 and 4. And there were no connectors. It was just a participle plus other parts. Okay, so let's take a look at the examples here. Rita, can you read the first example?
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second. Before we continue, okay, before we continue, I should mention this skill has 4 rules to remember, okay? The skill has 4 rules to remember. Here we see rule number 1 and number 2. And then on the next page, we have rule number 3 and number 4, okay? So right now, we'll start with rule number 1, the basic rule. All right, Rida, start with the example.
The woman who is waving to us is the tour guide.
Tour guide, okay?
Tour guide.
Now, what's in the box?
Team adjective.
Yeah, so everything in the box is a team adjective, right? We have the who. Is this just a connector?
No, it's connector and subject at the same time.
Exactly. And how about the is?
Is a helping verb.
Yeah, it's the auxiliary. What is the base form?
Be.
That's right. Yeah. So when I make the verb is waving, which formula is that?
Present continuous.
Continuous, right?
Continuous.
How do we make the continuous?
Be plus verb form.
That's right. The be plus verb 4. So in this skill, basically, we remove the connector subject, you remove the be verb.
Be verb.
Then what do we have if we remove those 2 things? What do we
Verb
have?
form only.
Verb 4. And waving to us is
Object.
a decreased team adjective. Okay, that's a decreased team adjective. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The-
That
the-
means
The full, what's the full adjective?
the full adjective. Who is waving to us?
Yeah, that's the full team adjective. Who is waving to us? If you decrease it, you take away the connector subject, you take away the be verb. And
It will
wave,
become waving to us. Only.
exactly. And it's a small or
Small
a
team adjective.
a small team adjective, a decreased team adjective. Okay, good. Ibrahim, read the second example.
The letter which is written last week, which was
it's past tense. Yeah, which was
written last week, arrived today.
What's in the box?
Team adjective.
Yes. So we have, is it which just a connector?
No, it is subject, second
It-
subject.
That's right. It's 2 things. It is a connector and also the subject. Right? Yeah. And now if I remove the connector subject and I remove the be verb, what do we have?
The letter written last week arrived today.
That's right. This is reduced or a decreased, right?
Yes.
Team adjective. Now, what is the full verb? Was written. Do you know what's the formula? Which formula is that?
Verb 3
Well, was.
was written.
Yeah, but was, what's the base form?
Verb 2. Be.
The B is the base
Yes.
form, right? B
Yeah.
is the base form. So what's the formula then?
Be plus B3.
And what do
It
we
is-
call it?
Passive.
Bingo. That's the passive formula, right? It's the passive formula. Now think about this. In the first example, the woman waving to us. Who is doing the action? Waving.
The woman.
Right. So we need verb 4. Right?
Yes.
What about in the second example? All right. Written last week.
We don't know the.
Does the subject, what's the subject here? The letter. Right? Does
Yes.
the letter do the
No.
action?
No.
That's why
It's passive.
we use the passive and the adjective written last week. You understand?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. All right, Abdulaziz, do the third one.
The picture that is on the table is full of iced tea.
Now, pitcher is a big, it's like a jug. When you go to, maybe if you go to a restaurant, yeah, and you order pizza and a pitcher, right? A big jug of Pepsi. Okay. So the
Okay.
pitcher on the table, the pitcher that is on the table is full of iced tea. How do I decrease this one? How do I reduce it?
Remove that and this.
And is that just a connector?
Connector and subject.
Correct. It's both connector and
And
subject at the same time. So I remove the connector subject, and what do I remove also?
Is
What is the base form?
P.
Yep. That's the rule here. You remove the be verb. Now, we don't remove other parts, just the be verb. Okay? We remove the connector subject, remove the be verb. All right. Now, that's rule number 1. That's the first rule. Okay? Let's move on to rule number 2. Asil?
Saraj?
Okay, you got a question? Yeah, Rita.
Yeah. We always delete the subject connector, right?
If it is a subject, if it's a connector subject.
Yeah,
okay?
if it's connector subject, we always delete it to reduce the team adjective, right?
That's yes. But the important thing is that it must be a subject also, right?
Okay.
So it is two things. It is the connector and also
And
the
subject.
subject. Okay.
Okay.
Asil, hey, show us your face. Don't
Yes.
be shy. Can't see you. Put your camera down a little bit. All right. Come on, you're a handsome guy. Put your camera down a little bit more. Okay. All right. So rule number 2. Let's start with rule number 2.
When there is no be verb, the adjective clause,
Mhm.
the connector subject is omitted, and the verb is changed into the ing form.
Okay. So in many cases, basically, you've got the first case, you have a be verb. You know there are 2 formulas with be verbs, right? Right? What are the 2 formulas? Be in verb 4,
Continuous and
continuous,
passive.
and then passive, right? So then the other verbs without, if there's another verb without any be auxiliary, no be auxiliary, okay? We can reduce it, but first we change the verb to verb 4, to ing. Okay? Now, again, make sure it's important that it's not just a connector, but it's a connector
Connector subject.
subject. Okay, Asil, what is this word omitted?
Delete.
Delete. Remove. Okay, removed. All right, so let's take a look here. The top of 124. Kobe, can you read this example?
I don't understand the article which appears in today's paper.
Hey, we learned the word appear today, didn't we?
Yeah.
Appear. Appear is when you come out. You come out, appear. Okay. All right. I don't understand the article which appears in today's paper. Now, look in the box. What's in the box?
Team adjective.
Team adjective. Now, in the team adjective, do you see the be auxiliary?
No.
No,
there's
be auxiliary. So in this case, how do we decrease or reduce it? Two steps. First step,
Delete the connector subject.
it's a connector subject. Remove the connector subject. Then step 2,
Change the verb to the ing verb.
that's correct. Change it to ing. Okay. All right. So read it again as the reduced adjective clause.
I don't understand the article appearing in today's paper.
Right. Now, the article, right? The article actually is coming out in the paper, right? So that's why it should be ing. Okay. All right. So appears changes to what?
Appear.
Appearing. You got it. Okay. All right,
Sorry,
gentlemen. Yes, Al-Shamari.
I have a question. Now, when we delete which and change the appears to appearing, it's no more verb, right? It's changed to an adjective.
Exactly. Exactly. When we have the verb appears, which appears, we have a connector subject and a verb, okay? But when you remove the connector subject and you change the verb to verb 4, it's not a verb anymore. It's an adjective. You got it?
Okay, thank you.
All right. You bet. Yazan, let's do rule number 3.
Not all adjective clauses can appear in reduced form.
Stop. Okay. So rule number 3, this tells us there are some special cases, okay? We cannot decrease or reduce all team adjectives, okay? We cannot reduce all of them. Continue.
Adjective clause can appear in reduced form only if the adjective clause a connector is followed directly by a verb.
What does that mean actually? An adjective clause can appear in reduced form only if the adjective clause connector. By the way, it's not just a connector. It must be an adjective. It must be a
Subject.
connector subject, right? Remember in skill 12, after the connector subject, we always put the verb. So that's basically rule number 3. You understand? It's a connector subject followed by the verb.
Directly, right?
Directly, exactly. Keep going, Yazan.
An adjective clause can only be reduced if the connector is also a subject.
Yes. So I have repeated this many times. You can reduce it only when the connector is also a subject. Okay. All right. So we've got a few examples here. See, Shemari. Now, when you guys, if you guys go to 04, English 04, ENGL 04, in Headway, Unit 8, you will learn about something called defining clauses. Defining clauses, and the opposite is
Undefining.
non-defining clauses. Okay. Now,
in our same book right now, right?
Sorry.
04, we will use the same book what we have right now.
That's correct. That's correct. Use the same book, and this is in this lesson will be in Unit 8. Okay. You will study defining clauses and non-defining. Now, what's the meaning of define? When you define something, if you define it, you know the word definition, right?
Yes, yes. Take some words that describe the that explain.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So when you define something, you explain it. Clearly explain it. Do you understand? Yeah. So basically, we have these two types of clauses. Sometimes we need information to make it clear, to make the example clear. We need some more details. Okay. And then in other cases, it's already clear, so we don't need more details. Okay. So basically, necessary details or necessary information and optional information. So look at the first example here. Read this example that I put that I've got right here. Shemari.
The woman is the tour guide.
Okay. The woman is the tour guide. Which woman?
It's not clear.
Exactly. We need more information. We need more information to be clear. How about the second one, Osama? The letter.
The letter space arrived yesterday.
Okay. Which letter? Which letter?
We don't know.
Yeah. So we need more information, don't we?
The letter that you gave me.
That's an example. That's a good example. But we need more information. We must explain exactly which letter.
I have.
Now, do you see what I put right there? Right here.
Necessary details.
Necessary details, okay? Necessary details, all right? And then, oops, let me keep going. Read this example, Harvey. Read it again. The woman.
The woman that I just met is the tour guide.
Huh. Which woman?
That I just met.
Now it's clear, right? Right?
Right.
Gentlemen, now it's clear. Which woman? That I just met. It's clear. All right. Rita, I want you to do the second one, the letter.
Okay. The letter which you sent me arrived yesterday.
Uh-huh. Which letter?
Which you sent me.
And now it's clear. The letter which I sent you. Okay. Now it's clear. So these two examples are called defining. These are called defining clauses because they give necessary details, necessary information. Okay. Yeah. Do you guys follow me so far?
Yeah. So
Okay.
far so good.
All right. Now, notice I put a big long arrow, the big red arrow. And why did I put the connector? You see the connector? I put an X on it. Yeah, I put parentheses.
Yes. Optional.
We can
Why?
omit it.
Optional.
Why? Why is it optional? That's right, Osama, but why is it optional? We studied a skill about this.
Yes.
Which skill? It was the first skill about adjective clauses. And that was that's skill 11, gentlemen.
11.
It's skill 11. And what is the rule that I explained in 11 about the connector? Sometimes. Sometimes.
It's optional.
Bingo. Read it, Al-Shama, read. Sometimes.
Sometimes the connector is optional.
Yes. And these are two examples when the connector is optional. Now, guys, look at the connectors. Is in these two examples, you see, is this a connector and subject? Or is it just
No.
a connector?
Just a connector.
Just the
It's
connector.
just the connector. Okay. So if I remove it, if I remove the connector here, it's not the same thing as reducing an adjective clause. It's not the same thing. Okay. It's just a special case, special rule for skill 11. Okay.
Because the connector here is optional.
That's
We
right.
can leave it or remove it, right?
And so this is why it's a little confusing because the connector is optional, but the information, the details is necessary. We need this information to tell us exactly who the woman is. We need the information to tell us exactly which letter.
To make it
Right?
clear.
Yeah, to make it clear. But in both of these cases, the connector is optional. If you're confused about that, you should go back and watch the YouTube video about skill 11. Okay. All right. Now I have one more example here. Al-Harbi, can you read the third example here? Non-defining.
Undefined clause with commas. My father BMW, which was a gift from the king, is expensive.
Yeah. Now, if let me cover that one up. If I cover this up here, what do you think? Is this information something that is necessary, or do you think that's optional information? Do we know exactly which BMW?
No.
Yes, we know.
I think he has only one BMW.
Read it again, Al-Harbi.
My father's BMW is expensive.
Uh-huh. Do you know whose BMW?
Yes, my father's BMW.
Yeah, we know exactly whose BMW. So you see this information between the commas, guess what?
It's optional.
It's optional. Okay, and the name that Headway uses, the name Headway uses is non-defining. That information is non-defining. Okay, now
That means
Why-
it's optional, right?
that's right. It means it's optional. Now, why is this important? Because skill or rule number 4. In rule number 4, you will understand, I hope, why or how we can change a non-defining clause. Okay, so let's go down to rule number 4. Arkobi, start reading from the yellow.
Adjective clause is a
Just
set of with
here
comma.
from the
Oh,
yellow.
okay.
Yeah, when
When an adjective clause is set off with comma,
what does that
let-
wait, what does that mean? Set off with commas.
it contains comma.
If it's set off with commas, it means separated. We separated by commas, right? Yeah. Right. Keep going.
The reduced adjective clause can appear at the front of the sentence.
Oh. Aha. So when you have one of these special team adjectives, and it's between commas, yeah, you can first decrease it or reduce it, and then second, after you decrease it, you can put it at the beginning. All right, you can move it to the beginning. So separated by commas, if you see this team adjective separated by commas, this is a non-defining clause. Okay, when you have the commas, that means it is optional information. You got it? Okay, so let's start looking at some examples here. Now, what is on the left side over here, Ibrahim? Do you see where it says non-defining?
Yes,
Can you read that?
You can
Non-defining.
reduce and move.
You can reduce it and you can
Move it.
move it. Now, if it's non-defining, is this necessary information or is it optional information?
Optional.
That's right. This is optional. Optional details, optional information. Okay. All right. Now we've got 3 examples. Start with the first one, Ibrahim. The White House.
The White House, which is located in Washington, is the home of the president.
Yeah. Now, think about that? The White House. Does everybody know the White House? I think so. Right?
Yeah.
The White
Yes.
House. The White House.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, we know.
In the USA, the White House. It's famous around the world, right? So
Yeah.
do we need more information to make sure everyone knows which house?
No.
No. So the information between commas is necessary or optional?
Optional.
Unnecessary.
Optional.
And deleted.
It's optional, right? Now, can we reduce it? Can we decrease it? Yes.
Yeah.
How do we decrease it, Abdulaziz? How do we decrease this?
We can delete it or reduce.
Okay. How do I reduce it?
The White House is the home of the president.
Okay. And then, but I want the information. I want to keep the adjective clause, team adjective. I want to keep it, but I want to decrease it, make it smaller. How do I do that?
Delete located.
Not located. I delete here. What do you see?
which is
Ah.
I thought it's already deleted.
Well, yeah, there are already X's here. Yeah, but from what's the give me the all right, tell me the full clause. The full clause, which
Is located in Washington.
and how do we decrease two things, two steps. Step one,
Delete connector
it's not just
and
a connector. It's not just a connector.
subject.
It's connector subject.
next
Remove the connector subject. And step two,
Verb.
the be verb. It's specifically the be verb, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which formula is that, by the way? Is located?
Passive.
That's right. Be plus verb 3 is passive, right? It's a passive formula. All right. Asil, can you read the second example here?
The White House, located in Washington, is the home of president.
Okay. Now, compare these two examples, you guys. Can you see the changes? You see the changes?
Yes.
Now, the first one has the full clause, the full adjective clause, right? It's complete. But the second is reduced. It's decreased. Do you understand?
We don't have a connector subject and we don't have a be verb.
That's right. Is it? But does the meaning change?
No.
No, it's the same.
Exactly the same. Now, there's one more possible step. It's an optional step, but it's a possible step. Yazan, read the third example.
Located in Washington, the White House is the home of the president.
Now let's compare the second and third examples.
Yeah, we moved located in Washington to the beginning of the sentence.
It comes at the beginning, and you must have one comma. You put it at the beginning, you have one comma. Now, what does it describe, located in Washington? Does it describe the president?
No, the White House.
Aha! It describes the subject, the White House. You understand? Yeah? It describes the subject. So we put it at the beginning, put a comma, and then the subject, the White House. Okay? Now, can I do this with the full clause? Can I do this with the full clause? Can I move? Can I move the complete clause to the beginning?
I think yes.
No, Al-Shamari, the answer is no. You cannot move the complete team adjective. You can't. If you have a connector, subject, and a be verb, you cannot put it at the beginning. Do you understand?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. You can move it only after you reduce it. Okay, is that clear, gentlemen?
Yes.
Before reducing, we cannot move the team adjective to the beginning of the sentence. But after reducing, after deleting connector subject and be verb, we can move it to the beginning, right?
That is correct. That is correct. Now, some of you guys, here's some extra information for you. If you go and look at the grammar reference from Unit 1, all right, on the last page, I think on the last page there are one or two examples where there is a reduced. No, it's not on the last page. It's I know it's on the first page. On the first page of the grammar reference unit 1. And if you look at, I think it's have, the auxiliary have, and there's something about having had lunch or having eaten something. You know what I'm referring to? I'll just pull it up.
Unit 1.
It's unit 1.
Having had lunch, yes. It's
Which
in the
page?
class.
Which page is that? Which page is that?
The first, this,
It's on the first page.
yeah, this having had lunch.
Yeah, there we go. And when we did this in class, somebody asked me, well, what does it mean? What does that mean? Having had lunch.
Having had.
This example is a reduced adjective clause. This is a reduced adjective clause. After you reduce it, after you decrease it, then you can put it at the beginning. Do you understand?
And what was it before we reduce it?
Well, if we have the full clause, so the subject comes first.
Yes, we typed it.
Then we need a comma. Then we need a connector subject. Who had lunch. We who had lunch. Okay, comma, tidied up. Now it sounds very strange because we don't talk like that. Okay,
This is only for grammar, right?
We use this a lot in English. Having had lunch, we tidied up. And that, you guys, is a reduced adjective clause. Let's go to the next one. Let's see, Ashamari. I think it's your turn, right? The president. Ashamari disappeared. Osama, can you do it? The president.
The president now.
Read all of it. There's a connector here, right?
Yes, the president who is now
preparing
to give a speech. Is meeting with his advisors.
Yeah, and why do we have commas here and here? Why? Is this information, is it necessary to be clear about this person?
No.
Or is it optional?
Optional.
Right, because it's optional, we have commas. Okay, so now which formula is this? Is preparing. What's the formula here?
Continuous formula.
That's right. It's continuous. Very good, Rita. Okay. All right. Al-Harbi, you want to read the second example?
The president knew preparing to give a speech is meeting with his advisors.
Let's compare these, the first example and the second one. Do you see a difference, guys? No? Yeah? You see the difference, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, we reduced.
Reduced.
So in the first one, it's a full or complete clause, right? That's a complete clause. The second one? Second one?
Reduced.
It's reduced. It's reduced.
Multi-team adjective.
Yeah. Okay. Now there's another. Let's see, Al-Harbi. You want to read the last line?
Now preparing to give a speech, the president is meeting with his advisors.
All right. Let's compare them. The second and the third. What's the difference?
we move the reduced adjective clause.
Yeah.
The first, so the beginning.
And you put
One
comma.
comma.
You must put one comma. Okay. All right. Now, again, I will ask this again. Can I move the full clause? Can I move the full clause to the beginning?
No.
No, you cannot.
No.
First
You have to
step,
reduce it first.
you reduce it. Second step, you
Move
can
it to the
move
beginning
it
and
Got it?
add one comma.
and add a comma. That is correct. Now, I want to tell you one more last detail about rule number 4. Can you read that, Rita? Defining?
Okay.
Defining
Non-defining clauses.
No, here on the right. Defining?
Okay, let's zoom in. Okay, defining clauses, you can only reduce, never move.
Aha. So you see these up here, these are defining clauses, right? Up here.
Yeah.
You can reduce them sometimes. Now, these two examples, we can't reduce these examples here, but there are others. There are
Some cases
others.
we cannot reduce it.
No. You can. Let's look at the example I put down here. Rita,
Okay.
can you read this?
I bought the book that was on sale.
Now, if I just say this, I bought the book. Do you know exactly which book?
No.
No. So that means we need this information here, right? But how do I reduce it?
We delete the connector and the be verb.
But is it just a connector?
Connector subject.
Exactly. You compare this example here, that was on sale, with the examples up here.
Okay.
Why is this one, we cannot reduce this one? What's the reason?
Because here it's only connector, not connector.
That's right. You see in this example above, the connector and the subject are not the same word. They're different. But in this case, here,
Connector subject.
it is both the connector and subject. Okay? So when it's both the connector and subject, yes, we can reduce it. We can.
We can
But
delete the connector subject and delete the be verb.
But what does that say? Never.
move.
You cannot move it. You see, read the second example. I bought
the book on sale.
So this, the first and the second example are both the same, right?
Right.
They're the same. But now look at the third example.
On sale, I bought the book.
This is wrong. Because this information, this is necessary information. It's necessary. You can reduce it,
but we cannot move it.
But you can't move it. Okay? All right, you guys, do you guys have a headache yet? These 4 rules?
A little bit.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's take a look. Yes, I told you this is a complicated skill. So let's take a look at the example, guys. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to choose. I'll give you a little bit extra. I'll give you 45 seconds because it's a difficult skill. Okay, go ahead and choose your answer from it's alpha, beta, Charlie, or delta. Think carefully. Okay, it's 40 seconds now. Do you need more time? The TOEFL doesn't give you any more time. I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute because it's a difficult skill. That's 6 people. 6 out of 9. 3 more. Come on, 3 more guys. No? It's already a minute. That's 7. Come on, last 2 guys. Go ahead and choose. That's 8. One more. One more. Come on, someone didn't answer. Come on, there we go. All right, everybody answered. All right, so some of you say Alpha and some Charlie. Well, let's take a look. Can you, in this example, do you see any subjects or verbs?
Yes, the witness.
Yes,
Yes.
All right, where?
the witness.
The witness.
Ah, the witness. Oh, well, I'm already going straight to the answers here. The witness is the subject. How about the verb?
Gave.
Gave. So we got a subject, we got a verb, okay?
Yes.
All right. Now, what's wrong with Alpha? Let's think about this. If I start, he appeared, right? Subject verb, right? He
Yes.
appeared on several television programs, comma, then another subject, witness, gave, conflicting accounts. What's the problem?
It's reduced. It's already reduced.
Well, if you look at the examples that are reduced, what do you see at the beginning? Verb 3. And here you see verb 4. Now this is verb 4 with an adverb, okay? But the adverb isn't the key part here, okay? It's verb 4. So we have a participle that comes at the beginning. Do you see at the beginning a subject? When it's reduced, do you see a subject at the begining? No, there's no subject. Okay, so you see, this is a full sentence. He appeared. It's subject, verb. Then we have a comma, and then another subject and another verb. That's not possible, guys, because there's no connector. Okay, all right. What about what about beta? Nobody selected beta. You know, it is incorrect. Does anyone know why?
Because when we reduce the theme adjective, we must delete the connector subject.
You got it, Riva. When you reduce it, you remove the connector subject. This one has the connector subject. So it's not possible. Okay. We got 2 more choices now. We've got Charlie. We've got Delta. Let's look at Delta first. What's wrong with Delta?
In adjectives, we should use verb 4 or
Delta appears.
It's
simple.
It's present simple. It's a verb. We never begin a sentence with a verb.
Yes.
So yeah, most of you got it right, guys. It is Charlie. Charlie is the answer. And the first subject is witness. The first verb, gave conflicting accounts. Okay. Then what do we have? Where's the reduced clause? Where is it?
The beginning.
At the beginning.
Yes.
And then guess what? There is more. We have another connector, don't we?
What?
You see, accounts of. What is of is a
happened?
preposition, right? Of is a preposition, right?
Yeah.
So after that, we have a noun clause connector.
Second subject.
Second subject, then second verb. All right, guys.
But
Finally,
we cannot reduce the second sentence, right?
This one?
Yeah.
Yes, this is because This is a noun clause. We do not reduce noun clauses. Okay?
Only the
Adjective. Tomorrow we'll do adverb. You can also reduce adverb clauses. So tomorrow I will do skill 14. I think skill 14 is easier than 13, but you can reduce adjective clauses. You can reduce adverb clauses. But you cannot reduce noun clauses.
but we cannot. We can. Sorry, we can replace the noun clause with the noun.
Yeah, sure.
The witness gave conflicting counts of something.
Yeah, of the accident or the crime. The witness gave conflicting accounts of the crime, right? Or of the accident, like that. Okay. All right. So let's look at the chart here. All right. The table. We've got 4 rules. Rule number 1. Let's see. Arkobi, what is rule number 1?
Rule number 1. With a be verb in the adjective clause.
Yes. What do we do? What do we do? Step 1. We have 2 steps. Step 1.
Step 1, delete the connector and the subject.
Remove. It's not just a connector, right? It's a connector subject. So remove the connector subject. And step 2.
Delete the be verb.
Remove the be verb. Good. Marie, how about rule number 2? When there is no be verb.
With no be verb in the adjective clause,
Yeah.
we remove adjective connector or subject.
Right.
And we change the verb into ing.
That's right. Make it into the present participle. Okay. Now, this right here, just it repeats rule number 1 and number 2. It's the same thing. So we don't need to read that, but we should look at rule number 3. Ibrahim, what is rule number 3?
Only reduce an adjective clauses if the connector or subject is directly followed by the verb.
That means that you can reduce it only when the connector is the subject. Okay?
Okay.
That's what it means, that you can only reduce it if the connector is a subject.
Yes.
Then, of course, the next part is a verb. Okay? And rule number 4, Abdulaziz.
If an adjective clause is set off with commas,
What does that mean? What does that mean, set off with commas?
separated.
Separated by commas. And
The reduce clause can be moved to the front of the sentence.
And if it's separated, it is what kind of information? Is it necessary information or is it optional?
Optional.
Yes. And the name we use is called non-defining. Okay. It doesn't define. What can we do if it's non-defining? We can do 2 things.
Remove it or reduce it.
Reduce. And then
put it in the front.
Yes. Reduce, then move it. Okay. All right. Exercise 13. Let's take a look at this. Asil, are you still awake? Yeah. Come on, show your
Yeah, I'm here.
face. Let's see your face. All right. Come on. All right. Go ahead. What do we do in this exercise?
Underline the adjective clause, then indicate if the sentence are correct or incorrect.
All right. Do you want to try to explain the first one?
Okay.
What is this?
We will.
We only need 1 line here, guys. We don't have to underline the subjects and verbs. We just underline the adjective clause. All right. That's all. So what is this here, Asil?
Adjective clause.
Yes. Yeah. Is it a complete clause?
No.
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 How can I make this into, if I want to make it a complete clause? Does anybody know how can I do that? So I have to reverse. I have to do the opposite instead of
We have to add the connector subject.
and.
Be.
Be verb.
Yes. Yes. So what would I say? We will have to return the merchandise,
Which purchased
add the be verb,
Was.
purchased. Is that active or is that passive? Which was purchased.
passive.
It's passive. Exactly. All right. How about the second one? Yazan, you want to explain the second one?
The children sat in the fancy restaurant found it's difficult to behave.
I think everyone sees a problem, right? What do you see? What problem do you see here? Here and here. What's this?
The verb.
It's a double verb, right?
Yeah.
It's a double verb. So that's why this example is incorrect. But here's the question. How can I fix it? Osama?
The children sat in the fancy restaurant, which was found. What?
Well-
Which found it difficult to behave.
Here,
Who sat?
this information, what does it describe? This information describes
Children.
the children. I think I heard somebody say
Yeah.
the right answer.
The children who sat.
Yes, Al-Shamari. The children who sat in the fancy restaurant. That is the full clause. Now, how can I reduce it correctly? If I decrease it, what should I do? So we have who sat is the full clause. Yes, Arkobi?
Actually, I have a question. Can I say the children who were sitting in the fancy restaurant found it
Yeah.
difficult to behave?
Sure, that's possible. So but let's start with Al-Shamari's example, and then I'll go to yours. So Al-Shamari said, who sat? Now, how do I decrease who sat? Which rule do I need? Do I need rule 1 or rule 2?
Rule 2.
Okay, so how do I do it then?
Change
Remove.
sat to sitting.
Bingo. You see, you remove the connector subject, who changed the verb into the ing form. Okay, sitting. Now, Arkobi's example. Tell us again your example, Arkobi. The children.
The children who were sitting in the fancy restaurant found it difficult to behave.
All right. Did you hear his example?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which rule do I need to reduce Arkobi's example?
Rule 2.
Delete connector and
One.
be.
No.
Rule 1.
Rule 1.
Yes.
Rule 1.
Delete
Because
connector subject and
in
delete the
Arkobi's
verb.
example, he has a connector subject, who, then there's a be verb, were.
The
Remove it.
result is the same.
Exactly. The result is the same.
Yes.
You got it. What's the verb 1 for sat, everybody?
Sit.
It's sit, right? And then verb 2, sat. 3,
Sat.
sat. Okay, so it's sit, sat, sat. What is be plus verb 4?
Sitting.
Yeah, it's, well, we're sitting.
Continue.
We're sitting, right?
Okay.
It's continuous. And what is be plus verb 3?
Where sat.
Yeah, you see, this second example is wrong, right? The second example is wrong. We're sitting, this is the correct answer, because you just You remove the connector subject, who, you remove the be verb. And sitting is the correct choice. All right. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's do this exercise as quickly as we can. Okay. I know it's time to pray. Oh, let's try and do this exercise as quickly as we can. Correct or incorrect? Here we go. Yes. Yes, Rida.
It's correct. The adjective is.
Let me do go ahead and show me your answers. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong poll. Hold on. I got to put up the correct or incorrect one. Correct, incorrect. Go ahead, do it now. Two people. Keep going, guys. Three people. So far, everyone agrees. Four people, everyone agrees. Anybody disagree? No? Nobody disagrees? Or you just don't want to be the only person who's different? Is that why? 7?
Is that right?
Okay, 8 people. All right, so let's take a look at it. Where's the clause? We just have to underline the clause, okay? Where is the adjective clause? Osama? Osama, where is it? Osama? Can't hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Serving a term of 4 years.
Bingo. So serving a term of 4 years.
And
okay.
This is the rule 4, right?
Yes. Well, yes, it is rule 4. Yeah, it is rule 4. Serving a term of 4 years. It describes what? It describes the mayor, right? The mayor. The mayor of a town is the leader of a town, okay? He's the head man of a town, okay? So serving a term of 4 years means that that's his position for 4 years, okay? Good, well done. So yeah, guys, this sentence is correct. Let's try number 4. Are you ready? I'm gonna relaunch. This time I'm not gonna show you because some of you might be too shy to give your own answer. Do it as quickly as you can. With 15 seconds. 10. 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, answer. One more person. All right. Oh, look at that. When you can't see what everybody is choosing, we're almost 50-50. Almost. It's 5 and 4. Ha. So
I think it's confused a little bit.
Is it confusing? Well, let's read out. Let's find the adjective clause.
Purchasing less than 2 weeks ago.
That's right. Okay. Now, do you see commas here?
Yeah.
Ah, so this information is necessary or is it optional?
Optional.
It's optional information, right? Now, what does it describe? This clause describes
the brand new Cadillac.
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 You guys know Cadillac is a car.
Yeah, we know.
It's a kind of car. Now,
That's famous.
can the car do this action?
No.
Nope. The car can't do the action. Purchasing? No. If you understand that, we know already this sentence is incorrect. Okay? Because the Cadillac cannot do this action. So instead of purchasing, what should it be? Instead of purchasing, should be ed, right? Verb 3. Instead of verb 4, there's the full clause. Can you read that, Rita?
Which was purchased.
Say all of it. The brand new.
The brand new Cadillac, which was purchased less than 2 weeks ago, was destroyed in the accident.
And how do I reduce it correctly? How do I do that?
We will delete the connector subject.
Remove the connector subject.
And the be verb, which is was.
Bingo. And so it's verb 3. Purchased less than 2 weeks ago. All right, let's do the next one, guys. Here we go. Number 5. Number 5, you ready? Go. I'll give you 20 seconds more. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Choose now. Oh, who was the last person to choose? Don't know. Well, you're the only one to choose correct. So let's take a look here. What do you think, Ibrahim? Can you find any? Where's the adjective clause, first of all?
The adjective clause is who's supporting their team.
Very good. Okay, who's supporting their team? Is that correct? Who supporting?
We must move the connector.
Yes.
Endure.
If we make it you can make it a full clause. How do we do that? How do we make it a full clause? Yes, Osama.
By adding a verb,
Which one?
auxiliary verb.
Do it.
The fans who are supporting their team.
You could say that. Who are supporting. Or what about just a fact, if it's just a simple fact? The fans.
Who support.
Who support.
Yes.
Right? And how do I reduce if it's support? How do I reduce?
We will delete the.
Is that
and the verb?
Is that rule
number
1
two.
or 2?
2.
Rule number 2, right?
Yes.
So what do? I remove the connector subject, then
Yes.
support.
I will
Change support.
supported.
Supporting. You got it. All right.
Supported or supporting?
Supporting. You always change. Rule number 2 is you always change it to verb 4. Okay.
And when I change it to verb 3?
We don't change it.
We don't change it. Now, why not? Because if you have already a be verb, if it's passive, then you just remove be. That's all, right? You just remove it and it will be already verb 3. Okay. All right. So,
Mr. Rich,
yeah.
there is no comma.
Right. There is no comma. So can I move it to the beginning? Can I move it to the beginning? No, because there's no comma. You can reduce it, right? We go back up to this rule. I told you right here, all right? In this case, I told you that you can reduce it like this. I bought the book that was on sale, or I bought the book on sale. You can reduce it, but you cannot move it. Okay, let's try the next one, guys. Number 6. Here we go. Number 6. Relaunch. Oops. No, I don't want it to download. Sorry, guys. I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. Okay. Go ahead. Choose your answers, guys. Number 6. What do you think, Osama? Is this skill pretty easy? We got 5. Come on. 4 more guys. 6. Okay. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Answer now, guys. Answer now. Answer now. Come on. 2 more. Answer. 1 more. Come on. Choose your answer. Just guess. Just guess. If you don't know, guess. All right. There we go. We got 9. Okay. All right, guys. So we got 3 people. It's correct, and 6 say no. It's incorrect. All right. Let's take a look. See how, Osama. Okay. Where is the adjective clause? Find the adjective clause.
Were just released by the police.
Oh, well done. Yes. This was a bit tricky. Okay. We're just released by the police. Now, what you have to think about is the verb.
Yes.
Does it match the suspect?
No.
Suspect is singular.
Yes.
Were is plural.
And I have another question.
So what does it describe here? What does this describe? Just released by the police.
Photographs.
It describes the photographs. Now, we learned in Headway the word published.
Yes.
Or issued. Remember that?
Issued. Yes.
Issued. The photographs were issued. The photographs were published or released. They all mean the same thing. Okay, Osama, what's your question? You muted yourself. I can't hear you.
I think we can't use the before a verb. Suspect is a verb. Yes.
It's not always a verb. This is a noun. A suspect, the noun suspect means a person that others believe is guilty. You call him a suspect.
And in the TOEFL, how could I know?
This is why TOEFL is difficult. You really have to increase your vocabulary. Yeah. And here in the TOEFL, if there's no line under it, then you know it's a noun.
If there is no what?
If there is no line, if they don't put a line under it, then you can be sure that it is a subject or it's a noun.
Do they put a line in the exam?
They will put a line. You know, there are 2 types of questions. You have structure questions.
Yes.
You choose the answer that fits, and then the second kind is where they will underline 4 sections, and you choose the wrong one. Okay, but if they do not underline it, then we know it is for sure. We know it's a noun. Okay, but if it's underlined, it depends on your vocabulary. It depends on your vocabulary. Okay. All right. So yeah, how do I fix this, guys? We know it's incorrect. Any idea how to fix it?
Can I say the suspect who can be seen?
Huh?
Mr.
Can be seen.
The suspect can be seen. What did you want to say?
Who can be seen?
Yes, you can say that, but then this part is wrong. What does this describe? Let me ask you that. What does it describe? This?
suspect.
No, look, this is plural, right? Abdulaziz, where is plural?
Yeah, it's
Photographs.
wrong. It should be was.
So no, this describes the photographs. So what do you think? I see Osama. Osama, do you have an answer? How do I fix that?
We can add that or which
Where? Where do I
after
put it?
photographs.
Right. The photographs which were just released. Now, how do I reduce it? If I reduce it correctly, how do I do it correctly?
Released by the police.
Yes.
Police.
So I remove the connector, subject, and the be verb. All right, number 7, guys. Here we go. Let's do this as quickly as we can. Okay, do it. Go. Oh, sorry, it didn't relaunch. Try it now. Come on, guys, as quickly as you can. You guys have to go pray soon, so. That's 3 guys. Come on, 6 more. I think maybe Yazan went to pray already. It's 5, 6, 7. One more. One more person. All right, that's 8. All right, that's good enough. We'll stop with 8. Okay. All right. So what do we got here? 5 and 3. All right. Any volunteers? Who wants to explain this one? All right, Rita. Let's find the adjective clause first.
Placing on the picnic table.
Yeah. What does it describe, this clause? Yeah, it describes the food. Now, again, can the food do this action? Think about it.
Okay. The food cannot.
The food can't do the action, right?
Yeah.
So we know, I think we know the answer now, don't we? We know that it is incorrect.
Incorrect. It should become placed.
Exactly.
Which was placed.
You got it.
We will delete which and we will delete was. It will become placed.
You got it. You got it. You got it. Well done. You could say that was placed. Also, you can say which was placed, right? And then you remove the connector subject, remove the be verb. I think, Rita, you're catching on. You're getting it. Okay, here we go. Number 9, guys. Relaunch. Go. Do it.
8 or 9?
Huh?
8.
Number 8.
Okay.
Sorry, number 8. Yeah. Number 8, guys. Okay, that's 3. I need 5 more at least. Come on. 4 guys. 5, 6, 2 more. 7, 1 more person. Number 8. Come on, who's number 8? Answer. We're out of time. Running out of time. There we go. Okay. Okay, guys. All right. So, any volunteers? Oh, Harvey.
Impressed with everything she had heard about the course.
Okay, that is the clause, right? This describes Marie. All of this describes Marie. Which rule is this, guys? Impressed with everything. When it comes at the beginning, yes, Osama?
Rule 4.
That's right. It's rule 4. So this describes Marie, right? Impressed with everything she had heard about the course, describes Marie, right? Does Marie do this? Or does something make her feel impressed?
Something make her feel.
That's right. So the answer is correct, guys. This example is correct. Okay. All right. Let's go on to number 9. Okay. Number 9, are you ready? Choose your answers, guys. Here we go. Okay, there we go. We're almost done, guys. Just 2 more. One person. Okay, we need more. Keep going. That's 3. Okay. 5. Good. 6. 7. One more. One more. Number 8. Come on, number 8. Where are you? There we go. Number 8. Okay. Okay. So, let's see. Who hasn't done any of these yet? Maybe Ibrahim? Oh, Al-Shamari. Okay, you go ahead.
The passengers in the airport waiting room heard the announcement of the cancelled flight ground audibly.
So give me the adjective clause.
The passengers in the airport waiting room.
That's an adjective clause?
I mean, adjective clause heard the announcement of the cancelled flight.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So what does it describe, this clause? Now, now you have here commas, right?
Yeah.
2 commas. Okay. So what does it describe? Heard the announcement.
The passengers.
Describes the passengers, right?
Yes.
Describes the passengers. Which passengers? Okay. The passengers in the airport waiting room. Do the passengers do this verb?
Yes.
Do they? Huh?
Yes, they heard the announcement.
Okay. So is this correct then? Can I say the passengers in the airport waiting room heard the announcement? Groaned audibly?
Yeah.
Is that reduced? What's the way to reduce?
Delete, remove the connector subject and the be.
So you think, so all right, so do the opposite. Add the connector subject and add a be verb. Go ahead.
Who has heard?
No, that's not be.
I don't have an answer for this.
The be verb. Yeah, Abdulaziz?
Without be, just who heard.
Okay, just who heard. But now, if I reduce who heard, which rule should I follow? If I reduce who heard?
Delete the connector. Rule 2.
Yes. And
it's verb form.
That's right. That's exactly right.
It's
you cannot
confused so much, Mr. Rich.
Who heard, you see, who heard is the full clause, right? That's the full clause. Then how do I reduce it? How do I reduce it?
Let heard ing.
That's right. You change it to ing. So this is the correction. It should say hearing the announcement of the canceled flight. Look, the easy way to think about it is, do the passengers do the verb? Right. So we need ing. That's the active. Remember, we did in unit 1, active adjective. Okay. We want the active adjective. Last one, guys. I know everybody's tired and ready to go. Let's quickly do it. Okay. 10 seconds, guys. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finished. Okay. All right. So, guys, where is the adjective clause here? Tell me. Find the adjective clause.
Justified with the service at the restaurant.
From dissatisfied all the way to restaurant.
Yeah.
What does it describe? Describes
The meal.
the meal. Now, if I put the meal at the beginning, the meal, comma, dissatisfied with the service.
Yeah, the connector.
Okay, which
What?
connector? Which, okay.
Which.
So the meal, comma, which
Was.
dissatisfied. So really, that's a very strange restaurant where the meal was dissatisfied. Do you know the meaning of dissatisfied?
Yes, yes.
When
The
you are
opposite of satisfied.
yeah, if you are unhappy about something, so you do the verb. You are the agent. Is the meal the agent here? Is the meal the
No.
agent? No.
No.
This example, guys, is actually total rubbish. All right. You can't say that at all. Dissatisfied with the service at the restaurant, comma, the meal was really not enjoyable. No. This is, how do I fix it? Well, you need an agent, first of all. Okay. You should put maybe my head hurts. I don't even want to think about the correct answer. Why don't we say good night and
I agree with you.
go and pray, guys. And
More
later,
time credit.
Okay.
later you could go back and watch the YouTube video again. All right, if you need to. All right.
Okay.
All right.
See you
Good night, you guys.
See you tomorrow.
All right. See you
Good
tomorrow.
night.
Bye.
Have a nice day.